It's your girl Akuu bringing you Sikaatalks The Podcast. And guys, today is a special episode. As you can see, you see that pretty face sitting across from me. So just to give you guys a breakdown, I'm starting this, I say a mini series. We'll be talking about growing faith. And in the aspect, I know faith means different things for different people. So just getting that conversation going and talking about faith and you being a believer, not being a non-believer, what does that mean to you? Do you feel that you're attached to your purpose? And if so, how do you know? So these are some of the conversations that we'll be having, some of the foundation of the conversation we will be having. So today I have my baby girl.
Hi.
Before Tia-Simone made baby girl a thing.
We started it.
Yes, we did. We did. I'm coming for you, Tia-Simone. Just kidding. So my baby girl, Tia, met her back in like 2015 at Southern Connecticut State University. One of the many good things that came out of that place. Sorry, not sorry. I said what I said.
And that's tea. And that's tea.
So yes, baby girl, tell them about yourself. Just
Hello.
a little bit.
My name is Tia-Simone. Tia for short because people mess it up. But I, like Sally said, I met her in 2015. She was my RA when I was just a little baby freshman. Didn't know any better, running around acting wild. But it's fine because we're grown and we're here. We're graduating with our master's in 2 weeks.
Yes, so excited.
We love elevation. We love elevation.
Yes.
I'm going to try to be polite today.
She's trouble. Like, if you know, you know.
If you know,
if
you
you
know.
don't know, you'll find out today.
I mean well, I promise. I do. I mean well.
Okay. We are all witnesses here, and we will see how this is gonna go, and we'll see if she behaves or not. If this ends early, just know this were cut out, edited, and we just had to make
some cuts in between because I said something that I shouldn't have said.
that part.
Woo!
Okay.
Ready.
So let's get into some of these questions.
Yes.
So all in all, so what does faith mean to you?
Faith just means believing, honestly, and whatever that may mean to you. But for me, faith is just like believing in myself, knowing that I can move mountains if I really wanted to. Like just having that mindset that like I can do anything. I can, if I just keep trying. Like if this one avenue doesn't work, there's gonna be another one. Like if it's meant to be for me, it's going to be. I just have to keep trying different things.
Okay. So do you believe in like a higher power or anything of that sort?
Me personally, no. Just because I wasn't raised in that type of household. It was more of a you work for it. If you work for it, you'll get it. Whatever you put into it is what you're gonna get out of it. I do believe that it's the power is in your hands. If you want something to work, you have to do it. I do think that there are like people watching us that have passed over, and that I do believe in that just because of I've had grandparents pass away, and then I'll either like hear them and I'll go like, somebody called me, and I'm literally by myself, and I'm like, bro, that sounded like Poppy. Wait a minute, let me go back. Like, and it'll usually be in moments like when we were talking about when I'm walling out and when I'm like losing myself. I'll hear my name, but nobody will be talking to me. And I'm like, okay, it's somebody telling me you need to relax. Take a deep breath. You're going to be fine. Like, there's something, they know something that I don't. So I will say, I guess, yeah, just not in the religious sense of a higher power, but I do believe that there are people always watching us.
So do you believe in purpose? Do you believe that each and every human being has a purpose in life?
Yes.
Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So without having that belief in the higher power and stuff like that, how do you feel that, when do you feel that you are lining up with your purpose, or like you are where you're supposed to be? How would you measure that?
When things just come naturally. Like I stated earlier, I'm graduating in 2 weeks with my master's. I honestly thought that I was going to be done in December. And then I got an email a couple weeks ago saying that I qualified to actually walk now and be done in July. So I was like, oh, okay. And it was because like I had focused on me. Like I haven't been dating anybody. I haven't been like out with my friends. Like I just started going out with my friends when my like schedule got what's the word, clearer. But I was really just focused on becoming a teacher. Like I did everything I needed to do, took all my classes, signed up for my my test and everything, and then it was like boom, job opportunity, boom, tutor, boom, after school teacher, boom, graduation. Oh, okay, cool. I have all this experience. All I gotta do is take the test, and then I'll be a teacher by next year.
That's
so
amazing.
it was like, so everything just was falling into place once I started to put my energy in the right stuff.
Okay. So that would lead into the next question. So you kind of answered it already, but you could like give it like a breakdown. So where and who do you put your trust in?
Myself.
Okay.
Which it took me a while to get there, but definitely put my trust in myself, my parents, and then like I said too, just like those who have passed over that I know had like so much faith in me before they left. Myself meaning that once I realized where I wanted to be, it was like, okay, now you know how to get there. You just have to do it. And once I stopped being scared of failure, because that's my problem, I'm very stubborn. So if I don't get it right on the first try, I won't try again. And then I had to teach myself, like, that's not how life works. Like, you have to keep trying. But I hate to fail because I've never been the type. Like, I've always been a straight A student, always been a teacher's pet, always been, like, up here. So anything that went wrong, I was like, well,
I'm out of here.
That's not mine. That's not my thing because I didn't get it. So definitely just having to, like, humble myself more. Not that I'm not, like, that I brag about it, but, like, I take pride in being very smart and getting things first-handedly. So when it started to not happen, I was like, damn, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not, like, good enough. And it was like, no, you are. You just, whatever you're doing is just not what you're supposed to be doing, so you have to try something else. My parents they were a learning lesson. Like, I watched them and the way that because my parents were 28 when they had me, so we're roughly around the same age. So just, like, watching them grow, right.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Damn, with my baby.
Excuse me. Hello. Don't start.
Where's my baby? Stop.
Don't start.
You said it, not me. But so I watched the mistake. My mom doesn't know, but I watched a lot of the mistakes that she's made and that my dad's made, and those have stuck with me. And I'm like, okay, I know what I don't want. I know what I need to do, and then they're always very supportive. My mom's more of a tough love. My dad's like, yeah, like you got it, right? And I'm like, that's not helpful, but okay, thank you. My mom was like, well, maybe if you would have woke up at 6 o'clock instead of 7, then something would have happened. And I'm like, that's also not helpful, but like, okay. And so just balancing them out, it's like, all right, they're basically being like, whatever you want to do is fine, but if that didn't work out, that's your fault. You need to try a different avenue. Like, don't just soak on it. And then, like, my grandmother's best friend who passed away, Miss Maggie, she's actually my undergrad cap. She used to always say, like, when I was a baby, like, not even able to talk, she'd be like, this girl's gonna be somebody one day. And she used to, every time she saw me, she'd be like, she's gonna be somebody. So on my grad cap, I literally put, she's gonna be somebody on there. My grandma cried because I was, like, her best friend, and she passed away, like, that a year before that. So, like, I hold, like, homage to her, but she called it early. She was like, nope, I see it. And I would literally just be sitting there playing with my dolls. She'd be like, yep, she gonna be somebody. Watch. And here I am.
Being somebody.
Thank you, Miss Maggie. But, so, yeah, that's where I put all my energy in the people that support me, and then having to support myself.
So, with that being said, so how do you not so let's say you're focused on something, you're doing you. So how do you not let other people's opinions matter? How do you segregate that?
Still kind of working on that. I think now with the whole pandemic and being by myself, that really, like, spoke to me. It's like, nobody else is going to do this but you. Like, you're really your only downfall. If I keep letting people tell me that I'm not good enough, of course that's going to stick. But if I look in the mirror and be like, you are the baddest bitch, you gonna go out there, you gonna kill it, you gonna do what you need to do, and giving myself that energy literally flourished me and changed me. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, COVID ruined my life. COVID helped me. because I was debating on going to school, but I wasn't going to go back. I was at a job that I hated, and I was just like, okay. And then I was dealing with these raggedy boys, and I'm like, all right, something has got to give. So I took all that energy. I quit that job. I started applying for jobs that I had my degree in. I stopped talking to people, and literally was just like, boom, and like isolated myself basically, and I rebuilt myself. And so I think just like knowing that I deserve more, and like the slightest thing that's like negative, I just walk away. Like, I'm not even gonna entertain you. I'm not gonna entertain it, because like you're not gonna. I put so much work in myself. You're not gonna take that away from me. I can't let you take that away from me, because we'll fight. I can't. Violence is never the answer. But I would be pissed. I would be upset. I can't let people be. And I think too, growing up, I was bullied because I was skinny. I spoke white. Like I had all these things. Like, my parents are separated. They don't get along, so I'm dealing with that, and I'm their first child. So you're dealing with that. Like, damn, was I the breaking point of their relationship? Then it's like, I'm too skinny. I speak like this. I have a squeaky voice. I have a lisp. You're like this. It's like, damn. What's good about me? Like, come on. You're smart. Damn, now you're a nerd. Like, what is the problem? So I really had to, like, grow up and realize. And then when I moved, I was in New Jersey when all that was happening. We finally shifted to Connecticut. And I went to a predominantly white school where I was loved and just appreciated for myself. And I was like, I can work with this.
I'm not that bad.
Right. I can work with this. Okay, if people like me, sure, I might be the token black girl, but it's like, that's my personality. Like, they like being around me because they see whatever they see on TV, and then they meet me and they're like, oh, you're a breath of fresh air. And like, other people will be offended by it, but I'm not offended because it's true. Sometimes you go around people and you're like, really? That's how y'all acting right now? Like, you could have did so many. That's what you chose to do? Really?
Of all the things.
That's what you chose to do. Now you're making us look bad. Like, so yeah, just having to like grow up and realize that I wasn't all these negative things, and then putting that, like I said, putting that energy in myself. Like, self-love, self-worth, it's very hard. But like, once you can do it, it's like nothing's gonna stop you.
So on a scale to 1 to 5, what would you rate your faith level? 5 being like, yeah, I got this.
I'm gonna say a 4.
Okay, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 4. I'm quite confident. If you ever notice, I'm quite confident. I'm gonna say a 4.
Forget what she said. I'm gonna be a 4.
No, I'm quite confident now as I'm older. Definitely a 4, because I know me, and I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm worth. I know my strengths, and I know my weaknesses. So there's nothing that anybody can tell me that I don't already know.
Okay. So like, can you give us like, I know you brought up graduate school and stuff like that. Do you have like any examples of like the faith that you believe in coming to glory?
Getting in, actually. So like I said, I've been postponing it for so long until I finally just couldn't take working at these dead-end jobs anymore, because working for the public just didn't fulfill me. I knew I needed to be somewhere where there were children. Like, not in a creepy way, but like, I needed to be working with kids. Like, that was just always been my passion. So I was working for a company in Waterbury, absolutely hated it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to apply for grad school. So I applied it for University of Bridgeport, and I applied for Fairfield, and I got into both within 2 weeks of me putting my application in. And I was like, oh, like, that was easy. Wait a minute. And now the hardest decision I had to make was, where am I going to go? And then I chose UV, and then I got into their internship program. So my whole, 3 semesters I've been paid for because I'm an intern in the school district around, like, that I live in. So in the Sonia School District, I work there now. And then literally everything just started happening, like, for the best. And I was like, it literally has been 6 months and my life has already changed so much. And so now I'm looking at a year. In August, it'll be a year since I applied. And it's like I will literally be in student teaching for my certificate to be a certified teacher in Connecticut. Like, what? Excuse me? All I had to do was put an application in? Like, I should have did that 2 years ago when my mother told me to. But I didn't know where I wanted to be 2 years ago either. So, like, I was dealing with a lot of, like, childish stuff. Southern really had me all types of messed up. So, it was like, I just really didn't know who I wanted to be, where I wanted to be. Like, it was always there, but I had so many other things clouding me, too, that I was like, when I finally got everything out of the way, it was like, you need to go do this. And now I'm done.
That's amazing. That's really good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So one of the points that I made was like, I believe that faith, regardless of where you stand, believe it or not, is tied to obedience. And as humans, we always have to go through that. I don't say that lonely stage, but like that.
Being alone, not lonely.
Being alone, yeah. Like being away from the whole, like being away from everyone.
Right.
You always have. I'm trying to use my email words here. Like you all have to go into that solitude moment.
Yes, solidarity.
And that's where you usually like find yourself. But with me, like the biggest thing is like making sure that when you're not losing yourself within something that's like not good for you. First of all, I applaud you for like not getting lost in the sauce. But so can you tell us a bit more about, it's time to be about me. I need to focus on what I gotta do.
So let's see, what was happening? There was a lot happening. I was dealing with friends that their date had expired a long time ago, but I was holding on to them just because, like, oh, this is my friend. Like, we've been friends for so long. Like, we've been down since the first day of school, like, freshman year. As soon as I say that, I know you're gonna know who I'm talking about. So it was like, I was just, I don't even know. Like, I was just wrong. Like, just letting people stay longer than they needed to. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. And then I was dealing with men who still don't really know themselves, but two people not knowing each other is not going to be, that's not a good mix.
That's like the blind leading the blind. Where are we going? I don't know. Where are we going? We don't know. Where are we going?
So it was like, I had friends that dates had expired, men that I was just like, okay, like, it was also like an ego thing for me. It was like, I could pull that easy, and I did it, and I was like,
what's up?
Y'all can't tell me nothing. Everybody wanted him, and I got him. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nobody can tell me anything.
Was it worth it? Exactly.
Listen. He's a nice guy. He's very. I'll give credits when credits are due. He is a nice person. There are just things that, we both were not. We wasn't here with it, but it's okay because you live, you learn, you grow, and that was one thing that I knew wasn't for me, and that was part of that growing part. It was like, okay, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what you won't ever let happen again. And that was with multiple people, not just that one guy, but like it was multiple guys that were coming at me too during COVID because everybody's home bored, so they're in my phone and in my face, and I'm like, ew, like, no thank you, like I'm okay, like that was so 2016. I'm good, I'm great, I'm doing great. But yeah, so then I was just always getting frustrated. And I actually, like, cried to my mom one day because I was like, I don't understand why all these people are being such shitty friends to me. And I know that I'm a great person. And she was like, well, maybe it's because you're growing and they're not. And I was like, but, like, like, not trying to hear it, but it was true. Like, I was just on a different path. And so that was hard. That was definitely hard because it's like, damn, do I really want to not have friends right now? Like, the world is ending. We don't get to see anybody anyways. And now we can't talk to nobody either. Like,
the world is ending. What? World is ending. That's how you were seeing things?
The world was ending. I couldn't go to Target. The world was ending, okay? I couldn't. The world was ending, Sally.
Okay.
But again,
So traumatic. Oh my God.
but no, yeah, I was just like, I don't want to not be able to talk to nobody either. Like, this is whack. But then the more frustrated I got, the more I was like, okay, like I know what this is. This is anxiety, frustration now. You need to get rid of people. And so I slowly started offing some people. And
She wasn't shooting. Yeah.
Oh,
She
no,
wasn't
sorry.
Shooting. She wasn't shooting.
I slowly started letting people go. Was like, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You get a new friend.
It's not me though.
It's not. Sorry. And then seeing their reactions to me being like, I can't do this was all that I needed, because it was like they were mad and people were coming at me, and I was like, first of all, did you forget who I was?
Oh shoot.
Don't do that. And then it was like, oh, this is how we react when we ask for a break. Clearly, you don't need to be around me anymore, because I don't do all that aggressiveness. Because if you're going to be passive-aggressive with me, I could be aggressive for real. So don't do that. Like, I'm asking you for my mental health. We're either going to fix our friendship or we're gonna be out. But I've already asked you to fix it, and you couldn't. So you got to go. And they were really entitled to me, and I didn't like that.
That's the worst kind of friends. Like,
Entitlement is crazy.
like I had the friend breakup, and it was really weird, because it's just like, first of all, Shorty was just like, honestly, I don't think this is working out. I don't want to be your friend anymore. And I was just like, okay. And at that point, I don't know if they felt that like I should have defended the friendship.
Yeah.
But if you openly tell me I don't want to be your friend anymore,
Why would I fight for that?
I'm not fighting for that. It's like, okay, good riddance.
Right.
And it's like, that's one thing that I feel like as humans we get stuck in, like, because, oh, I've known this person for so long. This person has been there for me. Yo, like, some people, as you said, expiration dates. Like,
yes.
If,
they are there.
And sometimes you grow away from people. You grow apart. And that's when, and growth as a person, as an individual, really comes in on how the friendship ends. If it's to the point where it's like, oh, F you, oh, I'm letting out everything that you told me, then we were really not friends.
We were never friends.
Because it's like...
Because I still holding a lot of people's secrets right now that I could have... Woo!
It's just like, oh, we're not friends no more, so now it's beef. No, it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't
like,
be. We just not friends no more.
It's okay. If I see you on the street, I might say hi, I might not. It's not really... But it's really no beef. I don't go to sleep thinking, oh my God.
Right.
It's that person. Like,
right.
If like your name comes through my mind, I'm gonna say a little prayer for you, hoping you're well. But like, I'm not checking for you. I'm not looking for you. Like,
right.
And that's where, and I feel like that also comes in like relationships. Like, a lot of people hate their exes, and I'm like, what does that say about you? Because it's like,
depending on what they did, right? What does that say about you?
Like, depending on what they did, what does that say about you? Like, now you freaking hate them. You really, oh, nah, this person is dead to me. Really? But like,
because a couple months ago,
that was your world.
We couldn't find you.
That was your world. I can't breathe without you. If you leave me, I'm gonna...
But see, and not to go off on a tangent, but I hate that too, because I'm currently dealing with one of those. My friend, I've known her since we were like 13, 14, like the mom's behavior days. Like, that was my girl. She started seeing this boy, disappeared off the face of the earth, right? November, she hits me up, oh, I'm going to come see you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I haven't talked to you in months, but okay, whatever. She pulls up, finds out they broke up, whatever. She just needed some friend. Okay, cool. Like, I'll be your friend. Like, I was watching it, so I called it. I saw it coming. Haven't heard from her since.
And back together? Probably.
Probably, because I have not heard from her. She texted me on my birthday, and I was just like, oh, thanks. And, like, I have her location, but sometimes, like, it doesn't load. And I'm just like, okay.
Hope you're safe, though.
Right. But, like, that's so weird, like, to be that lost in that person, because I'm sorry, but when you came here in November, we had a lot of sayings about him, and now we're...
Yeah, that's funny you brought that up, because, like, before coming in here, like, I saw a post, and it was just, like, it was basically talking about, I think it was on Twitter, it was, like, talking about that type of conversation, like, it was, like, some girls don't know how to be friends when they're in a relationship.
Nope.
And that's really true. Like,
yes.
And to me, that is really
annoying.
Weird. It's weird. Like, yeah, as friends, it's like, we're told, like, a good friend is somebody that's always there for you. We don't have to talk every day. Mm-hmm. But sis, if every time you get in a relationship, you just, like, deuces, and then when things goes to crap, that's when you come back to your friend. No. There's something there. No. There's something there that needs to give. There's something there that needs to...
advantage at that point. Like, I'm not here. I'm not your therapist. Unless you're about to pay me, because I have a psych degree. I am not your therapist. So, like, if I tell you he's cheating on you, let him go, and you're like, well, don't ever talk to me again. I don't care.
That's why I stopped.
I don't care.
When it comes to other people's relationship, see no evil, hear no evil. Like, no.
I don't care.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yo, like, if I'm at some place, I see your man, that's your man. That might not be your man, but that's somebody man, that's your man. And he over there with somebody that I don't know, it's not, I know it's not you.
But
I didn't see I wasn't even there. No. I don't care, because
I already told you.
And then you turn out to be the bad guy.
No.
And it's just like, I was looking out for you.
Right.
But then it's like, oh, you're not even looking out for yourself. So what's the point for me?
Right.
Yeah, nah. So when it comes to people in a relationship, don't ask me for nothing, because I don't know. Yeah. Don't ask me.
Right.
Unless like they're doing some like wild, foul something, then I might approach it and I'm gonna say something myself. But me coming from this person to go tell, no, because then that person might be their sister.
Oh.
None of my business.
That's why I was just going like, hey, what's up? Like mad petty with it, and just to see where the conversation goes, because you can tell by the way he reacts if it's something crazy or not. If he's like, oh, what's good? Versus then, yo, what's up? Like, okay, hi.
Eyes on you.
I see you. Wow, psychotic. But anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Back to the...
Yeah, I just had to, like, work on myself. I had to get rid of people, and I think just knowing the type of person that I am, and I'm like, yo, I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm a good friend. I know that I'm there for who I'm there for. So if there's a problem or if there's something going on that's out of my control, I just can't control it. And that's another thing, too. I'm very controlling. Not like in a bad way, but like I feel when it comes to me, I have to be in control of things. So it's like, how do I stop them from being so like a bad friend to me? But you can't stop people from treating you the way they're gonna treat you.
Sure.
So I can control how I treat them and how I react to them, but I can't control what they do to me. And I think that was another thing too that kind of just like kept me like leveled. And it was just like, okay. And then I started getting in my bag and being like, you're cute. You're smart. You're mad funny. like just keep going. Like, just keep going.
Okay. All right. So, how long would you say? So, without that solitude phase, how do you think? Do you think you'll be where you are now? Would you have been able to be where you are now without that solitude phase?
I want to say yes so bad, but no, only because even now I'm still making some choices that I know I shouldn't be making, but something in me just can't let that part go. So I think that if I didn't have that solitude where I really like tapped in on myself like mad hard, I would have been just letting things just slide. Like, and all those same people that I just got rid of would still be around me. So, and it would have just gotten worse. Like, my anger would have just kept building up because I knew that this wasn't right, but I would have just let it slide. So I definitely needed I don't know if I can be heard. I definitely needed that isolation to, like, ground myself, for sure. Yeah, no. Without that, I probably would not be where I am right now.
Where you are right now. Okay. That's fair enough. So, looking at yourself, let's say, it's 5 years, like,
I'm sorry.
That far back? 5 years is not that far back. It's like
No.
20 what? 17?
Yeah. Math 3 is yes.
Oh, that was good.
3 plus
So-
2 more.
Looking at yourself 5 years ago, what are some things you would have done differently that you know now based on what you've been through?
My damn attitude. Oh my god. Sometimes I really do cringe like when like Snapchat memories come up because I'm like, why are you so angry? I mean, I know why I was so angry, but it's like, why did you like not get help sooner? Why did you not leave such and such situations sooner? I was 2017, let's see. It was my first year as an RA. I was a junior. I was working technically 2 jobs because RA, and then I had another job at the mall that I ended up quitting because I was like, I can't do both. Mm-hmm. And then I was dance team captain. Like, I just had a lot going on. And then just dealing with nonsense. I think that I definitely wish I would have just, like, dubbed a lot more people. I definitely did get rid of a couple friends. And I did that wrong, too. I should have explained to them while I was leaving. I kind of just, like, up and dry and was like... But not for nothing, they had it coming. because if you're talking about me, throwing shade towards me because of whom I'm having relations with, you're just jealous. Like, and I don't like that. Like, if you're my friend, you're my friend. I'm going to put you on as much as I can put you on. But if they're not biting back, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, how you mad at me because they don't want you? What am I supposed to do? No, like, and then there was one comment she made and was like, I'm trying to figure out if they actually like you for you or like you because you're light-skinned. First of all, I'm brown.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That's coming from a...
Yes. Oh, yes. It was coming from a black woman.
Yeah, weird.
I said...
I'm sorry.
And so, you know me, petty as hell. I said both.
Oh, shoot.
Next topic.
That's my baby girl. Don't play
Next
with her.
topic. And that
God.
really set me off because I was like, what? Like, but I bring you around them whenever I'm with them. Like, if they're around, like, I bring you with me. One of them started saying hi to you more because he saw you often. You guys had class together. They don't want you in that way. That's not my fault. But he was still saying hi to you because he knew you was cool with me and I was cool with his mans. What else do you want me to do?
That's crazy.
So,
Wow.
yeah, now you have to go because not only are you being rude to me, but you're insulting my relationship. And I don't like that because he's respectful. And he's crazy.
Oh, God.
So he could not be. He would never, but he would tell me. Like, he'll tell me before he actually says it to somebody. But I'm like, I could literally just be like, go. And he would go off. Don't do that. Like, I can't help you. So I think maybe having that conversation with her, being like, I don't like the things that I'm hearing from you. Like, that's not how we do things here. That's not how I do things here. And, like, explaining to her what she went wrong. Personally, I think it would have went one ear and out the other for her. But doing that, I just literally just stopped talking to her. I stopped snapping her, was dubbing her phone calls. I knew her class schedule, so I would boop, 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 maneuver around it. Like, other people would be like, oh, she asked about you. Oh, she did it. Okay.
That's cool. I don't care.
I don't care. Because you already disrespected me way too many times. And I, like, since we've been friends back the year beforehand, freshman year. For 3 years, I've been letting things slide. Wow, see? You don't even realize until you talk about it more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was time for her to go. So there's that. And then dealing with him also was like, girl, you should... Yeah.
Let me stop. We're not gonna do that. I told her.
I just feel like...
I told her. I said, don't be the one. Listen to me.
No. Because it was... I did listen. So I fell back. Because we did break up once. Mm-hmm. And then we rekindled because that's what everybody does. They always rekindle because we're all in the same spot. Whatever. Everybody recycles. It's okay. But then it got bad once other females started knowing who I was and started, like, approaching me. Like, oh, y'all are bold. but I'm bolder.
Yeah,
No
these
idea.
these boys gonna make you do some stupid
They're
stuff.
gonna have you looking dumb. Don't do it. Don't do it. Especially don't try and ex like me. We are not one of them. We are not one of them. Like, we're not gonna fight you, but we're really gonna laugh in your face because that's cute. I still had him first, so that's cute. You can do nothing to me because I had him first. Congratulations.
That little feistiness, she didn't get me from on my side. It's somebody else's. But anyways.
So, like, I don't regret doing that because she tried me. But other people, like, I probably should have given them more of a conversation as to why I was leaving. But other than that, I don't regret that day at all. She would have tried it.
So, within that, do you have any questions for me? You said you had questions.
I do. Okay. I have a lot of questions because I'm just very confused.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm always like, I feel like I'm always the minority when it comes to these types of conversations because I'm not religious, so I don't understand. But I also feel like no one ever like teaches me. They kind of like bark at me about it, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to understand how you see this because to me, for example, so I saw this kid, he passed like his bar exam. So, and the first thing the mom did, instead of congratulating him, she was like thanking God. And so that threw me all the way off because I was like, wait, but like he did, like he studied, like he took the test, like that's his moment. And then I talked to somebody else and they were like, well, he wouldn't have been able to do it without God's help. And that was really just messing with me because I was like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just very confused. So like, and I know that you believe in like that's the household you grew up in. So like, how do you? It kind of because it looks like to me is like discrediting yourself and crediting somebody else first. I guess to me instead of like giving that stuff to yourself and then thanking them later. You know what I mean?
Okay. So like. And that, so like, I'm just good because I remember you asked me, do I have to be religious? I don't believe in religion. Okay. So to me personally, growing in like within my faith, in Christ and all, I separate myself from religion because to me religion is just a set of rules that you believe in and believe in that set of rules.
That's my next question.
Would equal to you being somewhere. But if you don't follow the set of rules, then you can be and you're not. And to me, that's not what being a Christian is about. Because it takes away from like those moments. There's like, religion makes you believe that you have to be perfect in order to like get to X, Y, and Z. And that's not what Christianity is about. You're gonna fall. You're gonna have those moments where like you don't feel that you're good enough and stuff like that. And that is okay. That's why you have Christ and he's fighting all those battles that you can fight for yourself, because there's more to life than just what we see. Like I believe that there is a spiritual realm, and most of the things that we might not see at like manifesting in real life are going on in that realm, and you might not, if you don't have the eyes to see certain things, you wouldn't understand what is going on in that aspect. So with that, taking a look at what you brought up, that is a good example. So being a Christian is just like, even doing this podcast, like I give things to God first, even though it's like it's me coming up to the studio, it's me paying for different things. It's just believing that higher powers was allowing me. So like waking up in the morning, that's not based on me being a good person, me being a bad person. That's God literally like being there for me and wake me up in the morning. Because I don't believe in that, it's always like, it's based on what you do that you're either going to live a long life or you're going to live a short life. No, like we do have some, there's certain things that you might do as a human being that will send you to your grave early. And that's based on your decision and whatever you decide to do. But in that aspect of like thanking God is really believing that the higher powers were like it's sustaining you. And depending what he went through, or like as a mother, what she saw her son going through. She probably had like sleepless night where she was like probably on her knees praying for God to like cover him, take him out of like certain situations and stuff like that. And there's also a lot of things that a person might go through, as I mentioned, like physically or also like mentally, and without God being there, because there's some situation that you might get yourself into and just like, yo, this was really crazy. Like, I made it through this. Right. This is wild. Like, and that instant, you know, it's not you. There's definitely something out there that's fighting for you. So that's where like the thanking God comes into play. So like based on my personal experiences for like even graduating from Southern, like that last semester was the worst semester of my life, because like I went through losing one of my bestest of friends, and it's just like that completely threw me off. Like mentally, I was like gradually like at the bottom. So with that being said, even like through the passing, like race passing, if it was, you would be repping me on the shirt, okay? You would be repping me on the shirt.
I think that messed everybody up. Everybody
up. So like looking at life, looking back at your life and looking at those different instances, so you're just like, nah, this definitely had to be God. And to everybody, certain points are different. And certain parts are different of like what aspect you look back to your life and it's like, oh wow, like that's definitely God. And stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's what I could say. I don't know. Did that help?
It did. It did. I like what you mentioned though about the rules, because I think that's what also like really throws me off, and I think that's probably where I want to say closed-mindedness for lack of a better term, because I'm very open to learning about everything, like because everybody, like I like how people think. Like I'm a psych major, so I love people's minds. But it's like, so you tell me that I think my biggest problem is when people pick and choose.
Yeah, I hate that part.
So, and that's where, when I mentioned to you earlier, a certain someone was going to come into play. Because I feel, and I see it a lot, especially with heterosexual men, they're quiet about the Bible when it comes to sex and drinking and drugs and different women and all that stuff. But the moment a gay man walks in the room, God made man for woman, and and I'm like, wait, because I'm pretty sure you just had sex outside of wedlock. You was sipping in the club the other day. How can you tell me now that this is the way life is, but I'm watching you do the pure opposite of what you say your religion is? So now I'm confused. Is it whenever you feel like it? Like, is it only on Sunday and Monday that you feel like you're gonna be?
Not the Sunday and the Monday.
Because it's like, bro, what? Like,
no.
Friday and Saturday we lit. Sunday outside. And Monday out. Nope. I am more holier than thou. Like, I don't understand that. And it's like, I mean, it's not a question that you can answer, but it's just a thing that I feel like we all see it. And it like and that's what really bothers me about religion, because I feel like people pick and choose when they're going to be fully within their religion. Like, if you're going to do it and stand on it. What's the problem? Or if you're not going to do it, then fine. Like, you can pick and choose, but don't pick and choose and then judge.
That's a good point. Because, like, even, because I feel like that's a Bible verse that a lot of people use, like non-believer or believers, which is like, oh, the Bible said thou shalt not judge. But what we forgot to read is like reading the whole scripture, and like the scripture continues to say, whatever measure you use to judge somebody, that same measure will be used to judge you. So first of all, like, to me, and I feel like that should be like the big envelope, and that's like, we call them, like, we have people, like, even as a Christian, we have the saints. Those are the people that are like, hey, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not do this, but it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, it's not even just to me. Sin is sin, regardless, like if you're stealing, if you're outside just being outside loosely,
Turn it up. Lit up.
and all the kind of stuff. Like sin is sin, and yes, as a Christian, as a believer, homosexuality is considered a sin. But that doesn't mean that, oh, I drink and smoke and whatever, so I'm better than somebody that's gay.
Right.
That should not be the envelope.
But there's no levels to sinning. Like it all is.
It's all on the same platform.
Right.
It's all on the same level. Whoa.
Hello.
Sorry, Mike. It's all on the same level. But so for those people, for that person to go out and say like, you are over there, you are fornicating, you're doing what you're not supposed to do. The accent is coming out, so you know you're fornicating, and you want to go and point your finger at somebody else and dictate what they're doing is wrong. Don't do that, because this is what's happening. Like a lot of people are being deterred from God, are being deterred from Christ because of those saints Christian that love to pinpoint and like to like jump the hoop and like, oh yeah, I'm a believer, but you know, like, no, as she said, stand within what you're doing, like, and that's when growth comes in, where you could come out and say, oh yeah, I was doing this, I was doing that, this is the life I'm living, but now I'm saved. And as I was talking in one of my podcasts, it's like, when you come out and say you're a saved person, like, you're not automatically gonna be like, okay, clap my hands, I'm not doing this. Like, you might fall certain times, you might fall, but don't use that you're saving to like judge other people. No, you're supposed to use those falls that you had to actually bring in more people to Christ. Like, being a Christian is not just like, it's not about judging people. It should be about loving people and caring for people and picking up people when they are falling. You're not supposed to like nail them down and knee to the neck kind of thing and just like, oh, I'm better than you. That's not what Christianity is supposed to be about. And like touching up on homosexuality, to me, it's like, yo, as people, yes, we have the courts, we have the judges, but that's not up to us to judge. Like, to me, the biggest judge is God. Whatever we do, because like, whatever is done in the dark will come to light. It might not come to light in your lifetime. It's the worst when you pass away, and that's when those dark things that you did come out to light. That's the worst, because you're not there to defend yourself.
Right.
So just like in that aspect, it's just like he's the biggest judge and he's the final judge. So as Christians, we talk about homosexuality and how it's wrong, it's a sin and whatever. But it's not that God hates the person or God hates. It's just the act. It's just the act that's looked upon. And as a person, can we have a conversation and talk about it and see like, why does Christianity see it as like a sin? Can we like talk about it? Can we have those conversations? That's where I want like, that's where I feel like Christian, we fail to have that open table to have those discussions. Let's have those conversations instead of just like, you know, just pointing the finger and like, oh, you going to hell. You going to hell too, because you probably lied this morning. Like, can we talk about that?
You probably lied this morning.
And that's the thing too, like, as Christian, like, our good acts and our good things is not what is going to take us to heaven. It's not what is making us saved.
Because we can see through the fake.
Exactly. And it's like, and even God and like towards God, it's not about what you do. Because it's easy to fake the funk. Like, even on social media, it's even easier to fake the funk. It's all about what's within your heart. Like, are you loving people for who they are? Or are you just loving people, acting like you love people because you could get something out of it? Are you being faithful to whatever it is that you're committing yourself to? Are you walking with confidence? Are you like aligning yourself with goodness? Like, those are the kind of things that as Christians you should be more focused on, instead of like going around and like pointing fingers and stuff like. Because this is what happens. Then people are like separating themselves from Christ and like missing out some juice and some sauce because we want to be. Oh, nah, this is wrong. No, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Why is it wrong? Why do you think, like, you know, this type of things? I feel like we need to change.
definitely need a change. And I was laughing because that had situation that happened, and like I have like a lot of like guy friends who were very like men, and and I wanted to say this out loud, but then I was like, something just told me like, Tia, don't say it, but I'm gonna say it now. So I have a friend who's gay, and he told me, he was like, yeah, straight men think that, oh, like, they'll be like, oh, like, everybody wants to talk to me, blah, 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 like, I don't want them, blah, 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 blah. Because I was like, well, if you find a gay man in your DMs, something about something you posted made him think
that there's a chance.
So, like, excuse me, so I asked my friend about it. He was like, oh, absolutely. He was like, because there's so many closeted straight men that, like, you can shoot your shot and he's either going to open the door or he's going to shut it down. He was like, but there's something in the way that either they're posing or the captions or something that is like,
Because it's all about, it's really, I feel like just to determine certain things is all about social cues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what kind of, because I study sociology, so that's like I'm a thing. So, social cues, like the way people will act, the way people, in the moment that you could tell certain things.
And the more aggressive you are about it, the more question marks you have around yourself. Because it's either like you're not comfortable enough as a man to let this man bask in his femininity and be able to shut him down, be like, no, like it's not my thing, but you go do you. The more aggressive you are about it, it's like, well, why? Are you curious? Do you have questions and you don't know how to handle asking your questions, so now you're mad? Like, what's the problem?
And also, like, I feel like that's a part of it too. And then, like, there are also some men that might have had some bad encounters with men, probably like at a younger age. I feel like that's another thing that like we don't talk about enough, because when you're like if you're a victim of like sexual assault or sexual abuse in any kind of way, sometimes like the way you heal from it or the way you don't heal also affects how you interact with certain genders. Like how comfortable, uncomfortable certain things make you. And I feel like that's some of the things that also take part in like how people react to those kind of situations.
Yeah. Yes.
To those kind of situations.
I just feel like sometimes it's like it's too much where it's like, why are you so like, he could just be in the corner hanging out dancing and then they're over here mad. Why are you worried about what that man is doing over there when you're over here? Like, worry. I think my biggest thing is like I said, don't judge. Worry about yourself, especially because I know those specific people that I have in my mind. I know that they're picking and choosing. So it's like, don't pick and choose and then judge. And I think that's what my biggest thing is, like you said, and that's why like you feel like everyone should just do what you want to do, because now you have somebody like me who overthinks everything, so I'm going to put an answer where the answer needs to be placed. So it's like, okay, so what's the problem? And now I'm going to start poking holes at you. Now you're going to be mad at me because I don't give up. So I'm like, so what's wrong? Why are you so worried about him? Why can't you worry about yourself? Why does what he does in his own life bother you so much? You have nothing going on in your life. Why are you worried about them? And I think that also comes in with the whole religion thing, because it's like, y'all are so worried about what somebody else is doing in their household. Why don't you just worry about what's going on in your household? Because there's so many moms who are always like about God, but yet their sons are out on the streets. Their sons are in jail. Their daughters are doing God knows what, and it's like, but you're so wrapped up in your religion and your faith, and like you're being this great woman, but yet your kids are drowning. So where does it now come in where you instill that same energy and love that you have for this higher power into your children? And I just feel like, especially in the Black community, I feel like we have a very, very strong problem with taking accountability. And I sometimes I look at religion as like a way for people to displace what's happening. So they're like, well, I I got a D on my test. Maybe that was God's way of telling me this is not the class for me.
No, you didn't study. You didn't study. Don't blame God.
Because you didn't do it right. Right? Like,
don't blame God. You didn't study.
Or, like, if somebody, like, oh, I hate when they be like, yo, free my brother, blah, blah, blah. No, he got arrested. Leave him where he's at. Like, he was put there for a reason. Y'all praying that he gets out. This man killed somebody.
No.
Like,
my favorite is, there's no one in hell right now. Everybody's in heaven because it's all look after us from up there. Up where? You don't know where he is. And it's like there's a lot of different things like that we do like culturally as like the Black community, like as a culture, like there's a lot of different things that we do. And then we like trying to pour out into religion. That's another thing too that we do. And it's just like, for example, as you mentioned, like the mother and like the kids doing. So like when the end comes, right? When the end comes, based on my faith, when the end comes and those trumpet ring, and then we go where we're supposed to, and we go in front of the final judge. A mother cannot attest for her children's sins. But what she can attest to is, what did you leave them? Like, did you instill what you know? Did you instill your faith within them? Or did you just go on your knees, pray every day, whatever? But at the end of the day,
about your family.
Everyone has to account for their own selves. So even in that aspect, like as a mother, if it's like, because I'm not a mother, so I don't know for a fact, but I know like, there's so much you could do as a person to like teach someone, especially if like they feel that they're grown. They're not gonna listen to you. They're not gonna listen to you.
Right.
So like in the aspect, I don't know if it's fair to like say, oh, the mother is like pouring her heart out into like her religion, but her children are doing something else. Cause like,
well, not all of them, but we've seen some that are like, it's like, well, ma'am, what about where are your kids right now? Like, and I guess because I'm in the school, so I see a lot of neglectful
being a
parents,
teacher,
and I'm like, we're in kindergarten, and I have kids coming in with the work that I sent them home last week still in their folders.
Why you not?
What's going on? And then I have parent-teacher conferences, and then they are giving, like, they are telling me about their religion, or they're just talking, and you can just tell that they're, like, church people and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, but what about the 5 minutes that I just need you to empty out your baby's folder? Like, you guys get home, you guys do whatever you do, you maybe go to church, whatever, blah, blah. That's great, because this kid is growing up in that type of environment, but their folder's still full. You have no idea what we did last week. The permission slip that I needed for them to participate in this activity,
not signed.
So now I'm in the corner, like, so that they can participate. But it's like,
shh, I'm gonna block that.
Right, but it's like, when are we, like, sometimes I feel like there's
no balance.
Yeah.
And
it's
that falls on them.
Extreme or like,
that's on them. That's not on the.
Right. And that's why I feel like sometimes like, it is like a way to be like, oh, well, God didn't want it that way. No, don't do that.
That's what I said. A lot of people like to just use God just to use God. Like, oh yeah, it might be God that's telling you that. Now you know damn well there's like sometimes there's a logical explanation for things that are happening.
Right.
Like God has nothing to do with that. God probably had something to do with it when
and he put it in front of you, and it was like, how are you gonna handle it now?
And like when he presented to you this one decision that he probably
wanted you to make
laid out for you like a couple years ago, but you didn't, or you probably ignored the sign, or you probably wasn't open enough to even see the sign, and then everything is just rolling out, and that's what you're getting as a person.
Right.
Those are some instances too. Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Listen, I just.
Did you have any other questions?
I was gonna say something wild.
Oh my god. I think it's time to cut.
Cut the cameras. Oh. No. So what's new?
We gonna cut the cameras. Cause he out here trying to be nosy. I'm not telling the people what's up. They don't need to know what's up.
Right.
Not yet. I'm just saying. Anyways. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, this was Sikaatalks The Podcast
Woo.
with my beautiful baby girl, Tia.
I don't know where I should look because I feel like I'm like,
You can look
Ah.
in the camera.
because I'm looking at the TV and I'm like, this looks dumb. So over here.
Look straight in the camera. Yes. With my beautiful girl, Tia-Simone.
Yes.
I always say like the whole government because it's
Oh, I
such,
got apps.
it's just a pretty name, Tia-Simone. Like it's a pretty name.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yes. So as I mentioned, this is Growing Faith series. So I definitely have another guest. And we'll also be talking about faith. But this was good. I like this. This is
Yeah,
my and
this
this
is
was
fun.
my first guest. So give me and an applause. So stay
First
tuned.
guest. Wow. Let me fix myself.
So stay tuned, guys, for more of this series. Ciao.
Bye.